So hi everyone, today's October the 23rd of 2024. This is the CAPV office hours meeting. Please, we're supposed to go by the code of conduct, so please be nice to each other and yeah, as usual. Um, so let's kick off the meeting. Thanks for joining. News and updates is empty, so we could directly jump to the topic of discussions. Fabrizio.
Yeah, just a heads up. There is a new mailing list. We were talking before starting recording. All the members have been created. I have updated up in this document the link to the mailing list. I have added the mailing list to this document as well. The old mailing list have been locked, if I'm not wrong.
And people
And
should definitely use the new one, I would say, in any
yes.
case. If you want to send something around.
And that's it. So they are still figuring out some issue about the calendar sync. And so you will see some invite sent to you multiple times. Let's just be a little bit patient. That's it.
I'm gonna add a link here, but just a link to the Google group message from Lubomir. And there's either one of these two links here allows you to add it to your Google Calendar, and then you're able to toggle it. That may help, Stefan, for your issue, at least partly.
Yeah, I just found it. Works. That's good enough.
Okie doke. Yeah. And I guess we can go to the next. Neil, take it ahead.
Yep. The next one for me is that multi-disk stuff we had been talking about. I've got the first pass of it working. I've got the unit tests in there. Technically, the only thing I'm still trying to take a stab at is the E2E tests. I was trying to learn how to run that locally, and that's still kind of a bit of a curve for me. It's not completely functioning inside the container that it's kicking off, so I've got a little bit of debugging there. But other than that, I just want to let people know. So if you want to start looking at it, trying it out, it's ready to work. I've also tested this on OpenShift, and it seems to be working just fine there for us. So everything's looking good.
Yeah, maybe go ahead and remove the work in progress then, to signal that
Good call.
it's ready for review.
I thought that would get removed when I did the other thing, but yeah, I'll do that right quick.
Yep.
Should we assign, if not already done, Lubomir, Lubron, Ricardo?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which ones, but yeah, I can start assigning whoever you think should be there.
Yeah, I think Christian can just do it.
Okay.
That's fine. Basically, you have some people internally that are also interested or using the Govimovi mode of CAPV. So we're trying to involve them more and more, so that basically it doesn't depend on like only us who are not using it. But it's in general like not a great thing if the only maintainers are the ones who don't use it.
That's good. There's also this mirror proper request open. We could keep those tests here.
Yeah, I saw that one was running every time I push changes, so I'd just been keeping an eye on it to make sure everything was looking good.
Yep, it was running the blocking ones. There's also some more in this Govimovi main. So, yep.
Now, is that the same one that I was trying to test in mine as well? Because I think I copied what someone else had pasted in mine. I thought it was that exact same one.
Not completely. That one here is including this VC sim.
Oh, okay, the sim
here, which means this is running against a VC simulator inside the ProPod, and the other one is trying to run against real vSphere infrastructure.
Gotcha.
Yep. Sounds good.
Since we are talking about PR, I think that there is also a PR from Ricardo about using the sphere
MOIDs.
yes, MOIDs, so internal object and IDs. Yeah, if you want to take a look at this one, Neil, this could be interesting.
Okay.
I think that in both cases, my key requirement will be to have some sort of validation more than in unit test. I know that it's not always possible, but I think that for Ricardo one, I think that it's possible to have an end-to-end test that use MOIDs instead of object names. I'm not sure if the same apply to the multi-disk stuff, but we can have something or in Govimomi or with a real center. This will be, will put me at ease because given the fact that we are not actively using this code, if we have an end-to-end test that ensure no regression, we are a little bit confident with whatever happens in the project. Instead, we don't have, otherwise we don't have a good signal that any change could impact the new features. So this is why I think we should raise the bar on test coverage. I don't know if you, Stefan, or Christian have opinion on this.
Yep, I think for this one, it should be even possible to have coverage using VCSIM, so it's not costly to run this.
Yeah, I guess in general, there's a bit of a trade-off between adding too much additional entirely, like separate and additional test runs because they take time and all of that. But that could also just mean that maybe we just change one of the tests we already have. In general, it would be good if you have end-to-end test coverage for everything where we can have end-to-end test coverage for. I think we already have like big gaps because there is stuff that we simply can't test in end-to-end. Right? I mean, we had like this vGPU feature, or where basically, I mean, the only info we have is that someone wrote on a PR at some point, I tested this manually. And then we have unit tests. But basically, we have no guarantees that this stuff doesn't break on any subsequent PRs that change something in any of those areas. So yeah, end-to-end tests to ensure a certain level of no regressions in the future is good, of course.
What do we do different tests against the different versions of vSphere?
Nope.
Unfortunately not, because we only have so we will only have a vSphere environment, which unfortunately will be still in 7 until the GKE upgraded to 8. And the only things that we can do now is to have with VCSIM it is possible to set the vSphere version. So this should work. I don't know if we are already doing it or not. I don't think we are doing.
We definitely don't run against multiple versions.
Yeah, but maybe we should consider run VCSIM test against different VCSIM version.
Just have to be careful, right? We already have like 2 dimensions. We have basically of tests. We have Govimomi mode versus supervisor mode. We have VSIM versus normal. With every time we say like, oh, we need this 2 or 3x, the numbers are going up. I mean, if you want to run now, let's say all VCSIM against vCenter 7, 8, eventually 9, then we already have like, I don't know, 8 times something.
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, ideally, absolutely. Just we have just to be careful when we try to make it happen, how we do it exactly.
Yeah. Well, when vCenter 7 is going under support, by the way?
What if I think it's still like another half or maybe 3/4 of a year or something. I think middle or end of next year. But I don't know if those dates are like always fixed and never move, or if it's just. And then I think there's also the question between official out of support and how much longer would it make sense to still sort of support it, because we still, and we always know that like there are a lot of customers who probably will still run this like in 5 years. So maybe it would be good to, at least in upstream from a code perspective, support this like on a best effort basis for a few years longer, because we know that people are just going to use it with vCenter 7.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that we need like continuous test coverage for that, but we at least shouldn't, let's say, intentionally drop code paths that we know that we need for vCenter 7 if we have code paths there.
Yeah. I mean, from code perspective, it even is able to run on 6 plus, because we just fixed something that we're able to run on vCenter 9, and there the minimum bar is having vSphere 6. And probably that may not work anymore due to missing features or something like that. But yeah, it's not tested and not called out that VC6 should work.
Yeah, we have to find we have to find a way. We will figure it out. I will open an issue to consider this, and then we will work on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think from a code perspective, you should probably just consider like not dropping stuff. I mean, we probably also don't really know like which parts are specifically working with vCenters. You know, I'm not aware of any single code path that we have to keep for vCenter 7. I just assume most of that stuff works for vCenter 7 and 8, and also for 9.
Yeah.
So
But-
from
but-
code
by
perspective,
the
it's
way-
probably not really a decision that we have to make. Then it comes down to test coverage. And for full end-to-end, we will in upstream we will only have like one environment, that is vCenter 8 at the moment. And depending on when Google VMware Engine goes to 8, we'll temporarily go back down to 7 and then hopefully back up to 8. So that leaves us only with the decision, what do we do with vCSIM, I guess, or what, I mean, of course it would be nice, like, I don't know if or you have on like an OpenShift side, and do you have like the tests running already, and you also want to run it against a bunch more versions and want to give us feedback here and there when something breaks. But that doesn't really affect, of course, what we can run like within the upstream project on top of the upstream community infrastructure. That's just additional data that people can share here and there if they run into problems.
Yeah, honestly, we should first check with the VCSIM maintainer how much reliable is the vSphere version in VCSIM.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not 100%, because I would assume that vSIM in itself is, of course, basically an approximation of how vCenter works.
Yeah, but
and then if you go into multi-version differences, it gets even more fragile, I assume.
Yeah, but if they give us, I don't know, 60% reliability, stuff like that, maybe it's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if they say 10%, then we shouldn't even start
Yes.
investing in multi-version vCSIM tests. Yeah, asking definitely doesn't hurt.
Yep. Okay. With that, I think we're at the end of our agenda if we don't have some more points to talk about. One second. 3 times. Okay. So thanks for joining. See you in
Thank you. Bye.
maybe 2 weeks. I'm not there in 2 weeks, so bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.